At 2 games apiece, so Kyrie, big-time game. Luka with 35, 10, and 7. What's his thoughts on getting the victory in Game 5?
I mean, today I think it was a very big game. We win, and now we got to win 1 out of 2. So we got to go back Dallas, play the same way. We know our fans going to be amazing at home. So we just got to win one more. We didn't do nothing yet.
Harden was so good in the series up till tonight. What do you chalk tonight up to?
Being human. He's allowed to have a bad game. He did shoot the ball well. They tried to get up and pressure him a little bit, which we didn't handle that like we had in the first 4 games. And so he just, he can play bad. It's possible. So he didn't play well. So I got to do a better job getting him in better situations and then get ready for Game 6, which I know he'll be better.
Austin Rivers joins us now from Los Angeles after being in the building to see the Mavs hand it to the Clips. Luka, I mentioned, hobbled, but, how would you know it, right? The guy's game's not burst. He doesn't need to have that gear, and yet 35, 10, and 7, you were there to see it. What did he show you? What stood out about the performance?
Well, listen, if there's any player that could hobble through an injury and still perform at a high level, it would be Luka Doncic. His whole life he's been slow, SVP. This is a guy whose whole game is based off of craft and skill. So tonight, even though he have full strength in that knee, but listen, this guy, his whole life has been the slower man, and he dominates every game. You cannot teach pace, you cannot teach skill, you cannot teach feel, and he has all 3. This is a guy who came into the game, he wanted it, he played better, he outstarred all the stars, and yeah, the Mavs went up big early and kept the lead.
Clips able to get that win in Game 4 without Kawhi. He didn't go in Game 5, and I mentioned the numbers for Harden and George, 2 of 12, 4 of 13. And those are guys, Austin, who are going to be scrutinized in performances that are like these, right? They're gonna get that microscope. Yeah. What went wrong for those 2 in this game?
I didn't like the aggression overall. In my opinion, especially with Kawhi out, I would like the game where Kawhi, instead of going 4 for 13, I would have liked the 6 from 20. And I know that sounds ignorant, but listen, they don't have the scoring that they need right now, especially without Kawhi Leonard. You need big performances from Paul George and James Harden. And, for me, it just felt like at times there wasn't great spacing. There wasn't great pep in terms of their play, in terms of their pace. They weren't getting stops. It just wasn't looking cohesive at all out there for them. And this is a game for real that we talked about. I mean, listen, Ty Lue talks about them being human, but this is games where you got to go get that. They're at home. This was an opportunity to take an advantage in the series, and now they have to go back to Dallas with the momentum against them. And they put themselves in a very vulnerable place right now.
I've been doing this way too long to say it's a wrap, but I'm not you if it is. Austin, do you just feel like it's a wrap?
I like my chances with the Mavericks, especially going home. The momentum's that way. Yep. Luka, if anything, feels good about his injury. It's one thing to be injured; it's another to play well on an injury. It gives you confidence as a player, knowing that okay, I can perform. I can perform well. I just did this, so I know I can rely on what I got left in the tank, right? So, with all this going forward, I have the Mavs. Yeah.
Game 6 on our air Friday. We will follow that one. More to come from Austin on a really spectacular performance from Boston. We'll talk to you in a minute, Austin. All right.
All right, see you soon.
All right. More on Luka here. His 13th 35-point game of his playoff career. You join a list that includes Kobe. You're in great company. That's the 3rd most by a player at the age of 25 or younger in NBA history. He trails only a pair of legends, LeBron James and Kevin Durant, and he doesn't turn 26.
Could vary, obviously, but this was a good 3-point shooting team in the regular season. Let's send.
Ooh, I love Luka. He don't even take a shower. He come on out and get it done.
Are we going to Luka? We thought we were going to Luka.
Nope.
Now we're going to Luka.
Okay, we can kind of see Luka a little bit. Hey, there he is.
When you start the game in the playoffs, it's a different thing. And, there's a lot of adrenaline, a lot of emotion, so you just keep going.
Well, why do you think you guys were able to be so good defensively tonight?
I think we did a great job in a lot of games. There was, I think, 2 halves that we didn't play good defensively, but everybody's on the same page on defense. We're talking. We know what other players like to do, and we just watch a lot of film. We watch scouting, and we just focus. And I think the communication we have on defense is the key, and the energy.
Based on how they were regarding you, what did you think of just Cleveland's ability? Based on how they were regarding you and Kyrie, What did you think of Maxi's just ability to stretch the floor out there?
Amazing. I think we created a lot of open shots. We couldn't knock him down, but then Maxi knocked down 3 in a row, so that helped the whole team. Just the energy in the game. You saw the bench was in the game the whole day, the whole time, and it just helped us. He was big, very big today, big shots.
Hey, Luka. So, right here. So, game 4, James Harden got 33. Today, you guys locked him down to 7 points. What's something different or something special that you guys did from game 4 to game 5?
I think D. Jones and PJ, they play great defense. Kyrie was playing great defense, pressuring him the whole time. And like I said, we just locked in, we communicating. We know there's got to go back Dallas, play the same way. We know our fans going to be amazing at home. So we just got to win one more. We didn't do nothing yet.
You do the right.
You had a lot of success attacking downhill today. Was there anything that you did in your approach, or was that just a focus for you personally?
Yeah, my man, so obviously out of my shooting the 3 great. Not even good. Very bad, actually. I was just getting downhill, The first 4 threes I took, it felt great. Just didn't go in. But then my mentality was going downhill.
What, having the cold or whatever it is you have, what does that do throughout a game? Can you explain how it specifically affects you, your stamina, just breathing, stuff like that?
Yeah, it's tough, I can't breathe through nose, so I have to blow my nose every time on. But like I said, it's the adrenaline of the playoff game. It was a big game today, so I know I needed to be locked in very, very 100%. So it's adrenaline of playoff game, and I like it.
Does it affect your breathing going up and down the court, or?
A little bit, nothing specific.
In what ways would you say you're limited with the knee?
Sorry?
With the knee soreness, in what way would you say you're limited?
I mean, we'll see. Now it's a little bit worse, obviously, after the game, but just I got to do treatment, ice it down, everything I can to be ready to go.
But during the game, does it keep you from making certain?
I mean, it's not really good, but like I talk about adrenaline of playoff game. Once you get started, you want to do everything you can to help your team win. So I just try to keep going.
Pop, pop, pop. Then shoot his fadeaway.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to be able to beat me 4 games like that.
Right.
I done adjusted to that. So if he doesn't have a backup game, right? If he doesn't know how to post up, if he doesn't know how to flares, duck ins, if he don't have part of that to free him up, if you can just run long, Hail Mary the whole game, I'm just gonna sit back in the prevent. I'm back in the prevent. You ain't coming back there. Right. So if you don't have your little, 5-yarders, the slants and all the output, if you don't have it in your repertoire, it's easy to have games like this. And
but look what you just said. Look what you just said. These are 2 of the best in the game.
They not LeBron.
Paul George and James Harden had that in their repertoire.
No, what's the history? Yeah. If you look at James Harden history, he's come up small in the playoffs. Look at Paul George history. There's one game, Russell Westbrook, when he was in OKC, Russell scored 45 points. They lost to Utah. Paul George gave him 5. If you look at James Harden, the most turnovers in the playoff game in history is James Harden with 14. So no, that's not true. Because the difference is that can you take, if you look at the great players,